life outside the lines, in a place where many misunderstand you, yet want to use you for your image. This book is about so much more than the face of drag. Décembre. I can't speak French, but Christelle thinks it's wildly chic, so she insists on using Google Translate. Who cares, darling? It's about what people see. Plus, my good friend and colleague, Belle de Jour, did it in her diary, and she bought a house with those royalties. Trust me. 18th of December. Le 18 décembre. That was hot, baby. Wanna go again? Last night, about 4 a.m., wrapped in cum-soaked Calvin Klein Egyptian cotton sheets, I realized I had to quit my first job in fashion. It's a fairly usual first job in fashion. Latte runs, bollockings for eating too much at a PR breakfast, being reminded I'll never make it in this business as I carry my boss, Eve, up 4 flights of stairs while she's blackout drunk in the late afternoon. That kind of thing. But there, last night, the cummy sheets slowly solidifying around me like a glamorous mummy, it all twigged. A post-climax sext from Eve's boyfriend arrived on her personal phone, which was by my bedside at her request. That was hot, baby. Wanna go again? My job title, personal assistant, turned out to be a fairly loose catch-all for a gig with a variety of responsibilities that I, an avid consumer of trashy, semi-abusive fashion reality TV growing up, totally expected. But Boyfriend Sexter never seemed to make the edit on those shows. That's right. Eve goes to bed at 10 p.m. on the dot every night and makes me stay awake to keep texting her boyfriend while he works a night shift. She told me, very specifically, that if I wanted to keep my job, I would have to go with the flow with whatever Jared wants. So when he sexts, I sext back. When I arrived in Manhattan, I was afresh with the naivety of a 24-year-old drag queen and hopeful journalist on the hunt for a big break and a series of big dicks. Like Violet Sanford in Coyote Ugly, but fatter and not a dancer. I thought my evenings would provide the perfect setup for an hour or so of writing, followed by seemingly endless hours out with my swathe of queer, cool, self-assured American gal and non-binary pals. I'd given up on the idea of career drag upon arrival here, on account of not wanting to be broke for the rest of my life, but I thought I might have a little extra time for a few cash-in-hand gigs, and perhaps from there my contoured star would rise. A kind of accidental rise to fame, like those queers who populated the Chelsea Hotel some years before me. Instead, I've spent my evenings trudging dutifully around a folder of my boss's nudes on Dropbox. Never fear, they don't run out. She constantly tops them up. Buck naked at the gym, an exposed tit in the bathroom of a Hard Rock cafe. She once sent me a close-up of her vagina and told me to study it so when I tell Jared that I'm touching my pussy, I actually know what a pussy looks like. Then she laughed. She doesn't pay me extra for this shit. If I'm going to do sex work, surely I should be remunerated. Well, if I'm not getting paid, I reasoned, I should at least use this opportunity as a sexual outlet for myself. Sex with strangers has always been a kink of mine anyway. Probably something to do with the fact that, in my head, I've always imagined myself as someone famous, and thus having faceless, nameless sex is a rather joyous way to escape the paparazzi. Or it's something to do with shame. Frankly, I can't spend any more time on that subject, so I'm opting for the former. As a result, then, I've transmogrified this traumatic sexual task into something glorious, something hot, unadulteratedly sexual. I, and many of my queer friends, are quite skilled at this practice. So, at night, instead of being this mistreated intern, I metaphorically drag up as my boss, my horrible boss. So horrible she could play a lead role in that horrible movie Horrible Bosses. And no, my criticism isn't just the classic gay male misogyny rife among many parts of my community. She's just a categorically dreadful person. And yes, if she were a man, I would think she were even worse, because men are, obviously, worse. So, terrified of losing my job by accidentally revealing myself as myself to Jared, for 3 months I've sexted like a boss. Aggressive, power-hungry, compulsively lying, with savageness coursing through my veins as I masturbate furiously, in tandem with her unknowing partner, who is none the wiser. I'm used to becoming her after hours, but this is different. In my real-life drag, I'm Christelle, full of love, laziness, sensitivity, with a subtly promiscuous edge and a penchant for hyperbole.